it's a little bit painful because I know we could have shown quite more. I 100% know we have more in us, and not just in the future. In the future for sure, but even today, I think we played, I don't even know, maybe like 30-40% of what we could.
What's up, y'all? My name is Andre Hopkins, also known as Entre Interview, and today I'm joined here by head coach of 100 Thieves NBS. After their game against NRG today, how are you feeling?
I mean, not the greatest. I don't think it ever gets easy to lose, no matter what kind of experience you have. Like, it's always, tough thing to, emotionally experience.
Most definitely. I mean, you guys look great out there. I mean, a ton of potential in this team, in my opinion. I mean, even this early on, you guys were performing at this high of level. I feel like there's just always room for more growth, but I'll just hop right into the question. So, yesterday I talked to Vora, but I want to hear it from you yourself. Why do you love these Sage Veto comps so much, and what do they bring to the server?
I don't think it's as much as like Sage plus Veto as a combo, but like more like separated. I think first of all, Sage, in my opinion, is a pretty good, maybe even great agent. A big part about her kit is just making things easier. I think whenever you defend macro-wise, the good timing when you wall off a certain area of map, the macro becomes easier. It's like a improved grip even. Stopping executes is very easy as well. Nice support from heal and the rest, but that's not as important. Then on attack as well, when you're scaling into sites as well, like just the area control that agent gives is, I don't think any other agent can do that. This, you can say, like a basic agent with basic abilities, nothing too complex, but it just makes things easier. That being said, you do need a certain player, somebody that is very creative, somebody that can get more out of Sage than the basic things. Because wall boosting, like getting creative with those kinds of things and getting a good feeling when to do those, I think is like a super important factor, which allows Sage to be at a competitive level. I think if you don't have a player for that, I wouldn't use her. But so far, almost in every team I had. So yeah, so that's why Sage. Also, there's a benefit that not a lot of teams do run her. So it's always harder for them to play against it because nobody has much practice against it. Just like a little bonus. And Veto, I see as a chamber replacement kind of thing. So we did run like a lot of chamber in the off season as well. And when we started the team, like for me, the first thing was like to get the roll straight, get the correct roster with the good rolls, so everything makes sense, and then see how the flexibility is of every individual. And obviously, Cryo being, Cryo, such an insane chamber, one of the best in the world. I've tested first how much we can push that, and then with the Veto coming out, it gave us like a, easy second choice for an agent. So, for example, moving into this weekend, we changed on a couple of maps from chamber to Veto just because of the enemy compositions. Because Veto is like a really good counter. If enemies are running Teo, specifically Teo, I think it's super good against. But like double initiator comps against Neon is great because it does stop the wall, it does eat the stun. Even against Yoru it's okay. But yeah, for us right now it was like chamber or Veto depending on the map, depending on the enemy composition. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because some of those Sage comps, I loved how those were looking. I mean, like you said, not very many teams play it, so there's a just distinct advantage there. When people load into the lobby, they've never scrimmed it, they've never played officials against it. And then, yeah, like you said, with the Veto, super strong. Cryo looked absolutely insane on it. That play he made on Pearl with sticking the spike with the ult, I was like, wow, like there's so much potential behind this character, and few teams have yet to unlock it, but I think you guys are there with just knowing how to play it, how strong this character is. So, for my next question, so after the map 1 map pick, what do you tell a team backstage to get their heads back in the game, to like get them back focused, locked in?
So obviously we had the talk. It was first of all, you start with acknowledgement. Always you acknowledge that you got your ass kicked, and then you try to just move on swiftly to speaking about map 2. Mostly the whole talk was just I was trying to mentally lift up the team because it was like a tough loss. I think we started so shaky. I think today's loss was the worst loss we had in this kickoff. The first half of Pearl, I didn't even feel like we were playing the game at all. So yeah, that Pearl loss was really tough, and I could see it in the players as well. The facial expressions, body language, all of that stuff. So for me, the most important factor was not even like preparation of NRG's Abyss or anything like reminding about those stuff, but it was more about just bringing them back into like a good mental state where we could fight. Because I think NRG is a team that they're very heavy scripted on their attack and very well prepared with anti-strat and scouting. So if you change stuff, if you play something that they don't expect, that's when they crumble. And I think G2 showed that perfectly when they switched their comps and went like double duelist aggressive style. We didn't want to go that deep. We did want to get in their faces, and disruptive behavior was the topic of the day. Unfortunately, that was not enough.
Yeah. I wanted to ask too about when you brought up the whole G2 thing. In a tournament like this with this kind of format where you have to play back-to-back days, what does that do for the game planning to have such little time between your game yesterday against Cloud9 and your game today?
I think first of all, if you think about, so if you have a week break in between, you can change comps and game plans and all of that stuff. When you go back-to-back, you are pretty much forced to keep with the things that you're doing. It's just like small adjustments. Maybe instead of going B with this ult that you had a preset strat, you can fake with it, go A. It's just small adjustments, just using previous games as conditioning, so you can mess with the opponent's anti and game plan. But the most important thing in these kinds of weekends is momentum. Just fire, passion, just momentum in general. And I think today we didn't have that. So I was hoping that it would carry over from yesterday, but it didn't. I still think we over-respect these best teams a little bit. Maybe it's tough because we know, they're the world champions or G2, like back-to-back America champions and stuff. I definitely felt like this kickoff that going against those two teams, and it's the only teams we lost to, but definitely felt like it was harder to get things going from a mental side of view.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, yeah, like you said, you talked about at the halftime break with Riv about giving them too much respect on Pro. Do you think you did a better job? I mean, on Abyss, on Pro actually. My apologies. And then on Abyss, do you think you did a better job with respecting them less, giving them less space?
Oh yeah, 100%. I think we took the fight to them and it worked better. That being said, they're also a great team. They adapted to that pretty quickly. I think when we swapped sides and we were like on defense, a couple of aggressive plays worked, but then they instantly started punishing us. So yeah, they're a good team. No takeaways from them. Like they definitely played way better than we did, and they are a better team today for sure on this tournament as well. So props to them. But yeah, I think it's a little bit painful because I know we could have shown quite more. I 100% know we have more in us, and not just in the future. In the future for sure, but even today, I think we played, I don't even know, maybe like 30-40% of what we could. So yeah, I wish we could have shown like a better series to the fans as well. It's always better to go out fighting than going out like this.
Okay, yeah, I feel that most definitely. So I wanted to ask about the meta with the whole Waylay. With Waylay being such a strong character, what does a player like Timotino bring to helping with game planning, with him being so good at the solo Waylay?
So solo Waylay is a very volatile kind of approach. I think the ceiling is super high because when you just play Waylay with like double initiator, you have more tools than, let's say, Waylay Yoru. That being said, it is harder to pull off, and especially when when you don't start well, and we had a problem with pistols this tournament as well. Like in practice, our pistol win rate is above 60%, which is quite solid. But in this tournament, I think we had like 30, maybe 35, which is quite a big irregularity. And it's not like we only played a few matches. We actually played the most rounds out of all of the teams in the tournament. So I think the sample size is quite good. So yeah, we definitely have to look into how we start the games. But circling back to the Waylay point, it is rough to pull off when you're just not feeling the game. I think when everything is clicking, she's super good solo. And I think the ceiling is high. And I think Tim is one of, if not the best Waylay in the world. Like he's so creative, he feels the timing so well. Everything needs to be smooth. Like, you know, like when he's in the zone and the team is in the zone, the solo Waylay approach I think is unstoppable. But when things don't click, it can backfire.
Most definitely, I feel that. So I want to ask a little bit more about the Timotino Waylay. He loves those double dash shotgun plays. Is that more him, the team, or the coaching staff making those decisions?
That is fully him. Like we don't, micromanage the players from A to Z. We're helping with the game plans, with the strategies, with the day-to-day routines, preparations, like all of the big stuff. But when it comes to like micro plays, obviously like we want them and we require them to play together, like team coordination, communication, all of those things. But when it comes to individual micro things, right, it's up to players. It's up to them to play ranked, play in scrims, test out things. Like all the players need to be creative. They need to explore new things. And like when Waylay came out, I think Tim just spammed the hell out of her in ranked and found out so many like little plays. And I think when the patch improved like the ult cast time, that was when like it really took off, when she could not only play with a saturate alone, but she could also like ult for herself and that type of stuff. I think that's the point where like Tim just said, this agent is just really good. And we tested it on every map, and I think we landed her like playing on 5 out of 7 maps. But honestly, you could play her on every map. I think she's so currently so strong that the only scenario I would see you not playing if you're a duelist, just can't play her well, right? So yeah, but otherwise I think I do expect to see a lot of Waylay in Santiago as well. Maybe less because I think Americas is showing the most. But yeah, we'll see. I think she's definitely very strong, and I wouldn't even mind like a small adjustment to her. So we can see a little bit more Jet and Raze and all that stuff.
I think it's just such a dominant character. Waylay and Yoru are like the two duelists that are just ruling the meta right now. I mean, those are the only two it feels like you're seeing on a map to map, except for Breeze, pretty much. On every map, you're seeing Yoru, Waylay. And then for my last question, so after a big tournament, surpassing a lot of expectations, how do you guys plan on bouncing back and trying to qualify for Masters London?
I'm not sure whose expectations we passed. We think, honestly, if we're looking from just outside, obviously everyone was talking the Bermuda Triangle, the top 3 teams, and then Furia was like an unexpected dark horse kind of team. So we did just finish above that, right? Like we finished 5th, just below the top 3 and below the Furia story. So I don't even know what to think about like the result where we ended. I'm mostly looking at the performance and stuff. I think from fans POV, it's kind of, I guess you could say, expected. But for me as a coach, and us as a team, definitely doesn't feel expected or good enough. Like we wanted to make Santiago. Moving forward, we still have like a young team and we're a fresh project because it was pretty much like a big rebuild, right? We only kept like 2 players and then Dan came back as well, new coaching staff, 2 new rookies, all of that stuff. So it is, I would say, like a completely new project. And with just a couple of months, I mean, me and Dumbros, we arrived to LA 14th of January and the kickoff started 16th. So we didn't have much time here, even though like we did prepare online. But it was different, obviously. Live preparation in the office versus online, smaller, like shorter days, all of that stuff. So I think moving forward to looking to prepare for next split and for hopefully Masters London. We're gonna just reflect on the things that maybe could have or should have been a little bit different. Adjust certain things. Can't go into detail too much, but it's definitely like some things we learned, and hopefully improve those, fix those, and keep building on the system, because there's been a lot of things we took away from this tournament. Not talking like result wise, but player comfort, small things like how are the rookies gonna do, how Cryo is gonna do on Sentinel row, right? How Peter will do Asuna, how he will do on just full flex roll. There's been a lot of changes in the team compared to last year in terms of like individual players and their roles. So there was a lot of question marks moving in, and we did get a lot of answers. So that's like a big positive for us coaching staff. We learned a lot about the team, about team's identity, about the players, about the comfort, about our maps as well. And we're also looking very much forward to removal of Abyss and Corrode and introduction of Lotus and Fracture. I think that map pool is going to be amazing. Now we could have played all 7 maps. We did have some stronger and weaker ones, of course, just like every other team. But I think moving forward, the next map pool looks amazing. I think there's a lot of like cooking potential for Lotus and Fracture both. So yeah, very excited for next split from Masters London, hopefully, and for a new map pool as well.
All right. Yeah, like I said, super high firepower team. I hope to see you guys in London. I mean, probably my favorite team to watch this kickoff. Super fun, super high aggro, great performances. I mean, it was a great showing out of you guys this tournament. So thank you very much for your time, Coach, and good luck in Split 1.
Thank you very much.